Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Justy.
And together we're losing it.
We both lost over 100 pounds by developing healthy habits.
And I also had weight loss surgery and used a GLP-1 medication.
And I used a GLP-1 medication and had skin removal surgery.
We're really passionate about helping people learn to live a healthy lifestyle by sharing our experiences.
But we're not doctors, so if you have questions, reach out to your medical team. And you may see our mascot Sancho pop up from time to time.
And all three of us hope that you find our content useful.
Welcome back, friends. We are here today with kind of something a little different that we want to talk about. I guess they're always a little different, but Justy and I have been talking a lot about, and you may have seen, if you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen us talk about specifically Justy. She's able to start working out as of December 1st, after her skin removal surgery, round 2. So we're pretty excited for that. We talked about it a bit last year too, how this time of year for both of us and a lot of people, it's harder for us to work out because we just don't want to. The weather, all the things. For me, it's also just family and kids. You know, my parents visit. Not that I mean, my parents don't hold me back from exercising, but it's the want to like spend more time with them or whatever. And then the kids being here and out of school, and it's just hectic for me. But also, it's cold, and I don't want to get out of bed. And
Right.
Justy went through that today, as did I. Well, getting out of bed was no problem, but for me, I had every excuse under the sun today of why not to go to the gym. Justy had every excuse under the sun today of why not to go for a walk, starting with both of us because it was cold. And so Justy was like, you know what I really want to do is I want to do a December challenge. So we're gonna do a challenge, which is anything really like rigid. We just have some ideas around it because actually I'm not gonna answer why. I'm gonna let you answer why because it was your idea and I'm on board with it. We tossed around some ideas on it, and like I said, it's kind of loose because we don't want to force anyone into anything, but we want to ask you to join us on this challenge. So, Justy, what are your thoughts on the challenge? We'll backtrack to like why you wanted to do it, and then kind of like what we want to do.
Yeah, so for me, I wanted to do it because, like all of you know, I've been not in the gym for 2 months because I had my round 2 of skin removal. And also, December is hard for me. So, but I'm a very goal oriented person. And I know that if I promise myself and plus promise other people, the people who follow us, I'm not going to slack like I would normally if people weren't watching or if I wasn't promising myself. So, that's why I wanted to do it. But I also wanted to balance, like, I do not need to go back to the gym full force, right? I'm still got things pulling and tugging and things are tight and that sort of thing. So I didn't want to make it like a challenge of, you're gonna do 17 burpees a day and all that bullshit. So really it's just 25 workouts, meaningful activity in the month of December to get ready for 2025. So that was what I've
25 for
decided.
25. Yeah.
25 for 25. And whatever it is, promise yourself, you're gonna do it today. And for me, I was gonna kind of just do 25 minutes, 25 times for
I think
2025, but I want
I
to do
think
more
that's
than
a good
25
goal.
minutes.
I think it should be that you aim for 25 minutes. And
Mhm.
if you can't get your 25, maybe you get 20. If you
Yeah,
can get more than 25, then do 60.
yeah,
But we'll 25 for 25 for 25.
yeah. So just getting just something to like give you a goal because, you know, I am an all or nothing girl. And so I have to back myself up a little bit sometimes. And I think this is good for me to give myself that grace. And like we were talking about earlier, giving myself that grace to not be full force because I shouldn't. I'm going to hurt myself if I do.
Right.
At my
Yeah.
age, if I go from not working out to doing what I was doing before I had surgery, I'm going to just injure myself. So
Right.
really just I want to take the stress away from working out. And December is really stressful. I will shut down if I get overwhelmed because I'm all or nothing. And I have a lot of shit going on in December, as we all do. And so I don't want
Yeah.
to shut down and I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I don't want to use that as an excuse to not have activity, to get myself in the habit, to get myself feeling proud of accomplishing something. Because for the last 2 months, I haven't had that feeling of, yeah, bitch, you did it. It's been like, yeah, bitch, you can't. So, and I really,
And we feed off of that.
I thrive
Honestly,
off of that.
that's
Mhm.
our new that's our new dopamine hit
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
like me today actually going and I did a workout that Justy would probably have loved to have done.
Yeah.
You would have killed it, and that would have been your dopamine hit. Like, yeah, I
Mhm.
did it. Like, I didn't want to. I had 1,000 excuses not to, but I did it. And then you get that kind of high off of
I
like
did
high
it.
fiving yourself and being like, I'm a badass bitch, and I did it.
Right. And I haven't had that for 2 months. And for me, that's hard. And going into December where I don't like the cold weather and the stress of the holidays, and I have bakeries, which are super busy during the holiday, just all of it together. I just wanted to do something simple. So getting back in the gym 25 times this
Yeah.
month of December, starting December 1st is when my membership is reactivated. And whether it's walking for 25 minutes or doing a stretch class or whatever, just giving myself that open whatever, just 25
Right.
minutes, 25 workouts. And then after all that, the holidays and stuff are over, then I can get back into doing my, sometimes 2 workouts a day, sometimes, 6 days a week, that sort of thing. Strength training. Once I've kind
Right.
of lubed my body up a little bit.
And I think it's important. So if we're doing 25 for 25 for 25,
Hmm.
it's important to know that because if you're an all or nothing thinker like we are, I
Hmm.
might say December 3rd, I do first, I do the second on the third, I'm just jammed up, let's say. Got
Hmm.
a deadline I have to meet. I've got to pick my kid up from school. I've got to get dinner going. She's got soccer practice, whatever, because that's how my days go.
Hmm.
Instead of being like, well, I don't have 25 minutes to give, so fuck it. I'm gonna say, like, do I have 20, 25 minutes that I could walk laps around the house?
Or
Do I
10 minutes
have
in the
10 minutes?
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes in the morning, while she's getting ready for school, if I'm ready to go, can I go walk a lap around the neighborhood for 10 minutes? Can I, when after I drop her off, or she's got a park next to her school, like you just have to think outside of the box. It doesn't
Hmm.
have to be so all or nothing, like, well, I can't do a class at the gym for an hour. Okay,
Right.
well, what can you
Right.
do?
Right.
What
What
can you
can you
do?
do? And that's what I struggled with like that's what I've been struggling with for the last couple of weeks. So I got released to do light workouts, meaning walking, that sort of thing, a couple of weeks ago. And but I haven't been doing it. So I have kind of, but not really. So for the last 3 days, I've gotten all my rings on my Apple Watch, and I feel good about that. But it's because I have been using that excuse, well, I can't go to the gym because I'm just a gym girl. But then it's like, bitch, you can walk. You have a
Right, your
bike
legs work.
here. You have weights. I mean, you're not supposed to lift heavy weights, but you can do those 5-pound bicep curls and do something. And so that's why it's like, okay, I'm gonna challenge myself to do something 25 days this month for 25 minutes. And you think, what is there, 31 to April, 31 days
Yeah,
in
so
December?
six days of a
So
break.
6 days of a break. So that's 5 days a week, 25 minutes.
Right,
That's nothing compared to what I used to do, but it's a whole lot compared to what I've been doing. And so
right,
to not expect myself to go back to what I was doing, an hour a day, hour and a half a day, 6 days a week of hard workouts, that's just silly. So
right,
let's start here. And then maybe in January, I can do, all right, I'm going to do instead of 25 minutes, I'm going to bring that up to 45 minutes or bring that up to an hour, or that sort of thing. But I think the challenge is good for me personally. If people want to follow along, that's awesome. But for me personally, it's good to get myself that step to getting back to what I was
A-
doing before.
And also, like, we keep in mind that not everybody is where we are. So this is a start where you are challenge.
Hmm.
There are some people who are probably thinking, like, you know what, January 1st, I'm gonna hit the ground running.
Yeah,
Fuck January 1st. Fuck it
do
right
it
in its
now.
little fucking face. Okay?
Right.
We're
Start
no.
now.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, why January 1st? Don't ever wait. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for January 1st. Don't wait for the new month to start. Don't wait for your birthday. Don't wait for, stop waiting for stuff and just, what's the difference? What's the difference if we started, if we were like, oh, December 1st, I'm going to start. Well, we are starting a challenge December 1st. That's a really bad example, but that's because that's when you're cleared.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, I just don't like get rid of the, well, I'm not, I'm cleared. I went to the gym today, so I'm not waiting for December 1st for our challenge to start. Like, today's the 22nd, so you throw in an extra week. Like, who cares? Like, just do it.
Right.
Just
Right.
do it.
Yeah, you
There's
can
no
start
harm in it.
tomorrow if
You're
you
not
want.
hurting yourself. Yeah, you would be hurting yourself because you were given doctor's instructions not to. That's different. I was not.
Right.
So I
And
can
I
take
think
my ass to the gym.
and I think we were talking about before how, well, maybe some people can't do 25 minutes. And in my mind, anybody can do 25 minutes, whether it's 25 minutes of just sitting in the chair and moving your arms like this. It's something more than you were doing
Right.
before.
Like, hey, I
And
got to hit my challenge. What can I do?
what can I do? I can
Right.
walk in
Can I sit?
place.
Can I do a seated chair exercise? Can I do a
Right.
stretch? Can I do
I
some meditation or
I can
yoga
walk around
or
my kitchen
stretch? Yeah.
island. I can,
Yeah.
there's always something you can do. And we make so many excuses why we can't. And so I think that's what we wanted to talk about too a little bit is the difference between giving ourselves grace. I had to give myself grace because I had surgery. Sometimes you might injure yourself or whatever. And there's times when you do that, but not using grace as an excuse either.
Right.
Right. So I have a ton for me. The way I stay motivated is we have a lot of people on Instagram who follow us, and I don't want to be the girl who gained all her weight back, which sounds really silly, but that is true.
Yeah.
Um, B, I love the way I look. When I look at myself, I'm so proud and I feel like I am who I was always supposed to be. And that's amazing to me. But also, I I just I want to be as healthy as possible. And so giving me all
Yeah.
these reasons, right? So having a toolbox of what am I going to say to myself when? And so for me, self-talk
Because there's
is
always a win.
yes,
Even for you and I who
yes,
do it regularly, we
yes.
still face it.
Right. And for me, self-talk is the thing that gets me out of it. So I
Yeah.
will every morning wake up and be like, fuck, I don't want to go to the gym. Fuck, I don't want to get up. Like, oh my God, I could just skip every day, even before my surgery. I have that conversation with myself. But then every day I'm like, okay, it's not about your mood, it's about your plan. This does not align with what you want most. Like, once you get up, you'll feel better. Like all of these things, you've got to be a cheerleader for yourself instead of the person who is making excuses for yourself.
Right.
And there are some
Right.
valid days when you can't do it, and that's okay. But not using that as an excuse. It has to be an actual, real, physical reason, a fact instead of a feeling, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, so I didn't work out yesterday, and I don't, Wednesdays are typically a day that I don't because I legit just don't really have the time. That's been my rest day. Wednesdays and Sundays are typically my rest days if I'm doing 5 days a week. Because Wednesdays are Girl Scouts. I have work. I just have a full lineup of things. And yesterday, I didn't go to Girl Scouts because I wasn't supposed to be here. So they weren't counting on me. And I had like other stuff that I needed to do. So I was like, I'm still not going to go. So I didn't have my stepdaughter here. And I was like, I'm not going. I'm like, but I can go to the gym. I'm like, no, the whole point, and you don't typically work out on Wednesdays. The whole point in you not going to your other commitment of Girl Scouts was so you could get this other stuff done. So I was
Mhm.
like trying to like slide that in there and putting too
Uh-huh.
much on my plate. And I'm like, so at the same time, I was like, why are you doing that to yourself? Like you are cutting something else out because of something else that you have to, like, why would you try to slide the gym in there too? And I was really sore, but I see myself trying to pile that up too. So it's almost like it's just a good habit to honor your commitments, period.
Yes. Yeah.
I was already cutting out something that I am committed to every week, and yet I was trying to do something else. So, but it's just like a discipline that you have to get in the habit
Hmm.
of. And
Hmm.
so I didn't go yesterday, but then funny enough, today I'm trying to think of excuses why not to go. But just yesterday I was trying to find excuses to go, and I'm like,
Right.
make that make sense. Where's the logic there? So today I was going to do a class this morning, and then I was like, well, no, I'll work my full day because sometimes I'll go during work hours, but then I end up having to work later at night. So, you just figure it out. I'm lucky enough that I have a job where I can do that. I was like, no, I'll just work the full day and then I'll go to the 6 o'clock class. Well, sure as shit, 6 o'clock comes and it got colder and it's dark and it's rain,
Mm.
almost snow. And I had to pick up a grocery order and it was all the things in my mind. I'm like, maybe I'll just do like a home workout instead. We all know what that means. That is
No,
not
that means
that home workout.
lollygagging. Mm-mm.
And I don't have a trainer, a personal trainer that's there like, coaching me because he did come over at the one point and showed me something I was doing incorrectly. So I don't have that at home. Nor do
Mm-hmm.
I have someone to be like, hell yeah, you're doing a great job. Like it's just me, like burn the TV or like
Right.
trying to figure it out. Yes, I can do it. That is a last resort. But I know a lot of times when I say I'm going to, I don't.
I don't give it the energy that I do because I'm
Nor
competitive.
and
And
that.
so I
Yes.
don't go like I typically go. And for
Yes.
me, it's so funny that my gym has really become a social thing for me. And
Yeah.
I love my stretch instructor on Friday, Jen. She's awesome. And I just like seeing her. I like seeing my
Yeah.
friend Christy. I like seeing,
Yeah.
I like Emma and Leah. And it's like, I haven't had that for 2 months. So I'm just like ready to get back.
Right. Yeah, same. And I really enjoy I haven't really like made like friends like you have at your gym, but I like know I see the regulars. I know them. I was talking to a girl today because in the class we were talking about the coach before we got started, the personal trainer was talking about like how important it is to like meal prep and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna shameless plug real quick. I'm a chef and I have a meal prep business. And so if you
Yeah.
don't like cooking, come see me. And they were like, what? So like we were
Uh-huh.
chatting and stuff, and then the one lady at the end was like, "I really need to get your info." Well, she was African, so she kind of her accent sort of a little bit reminded me of Pippa.
Oh,
But I was just like, she's like, and she said we were talking about something, and she said "fuck," and she's like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "I'm African." I'm like, "It's okay. I'm white," and I
I'm a
say it
chef.
all the time.
Like, I've heard it before. Yeah,
But
and it's like
it's just
for
really
me,
nice to be able. There are people that have the same interests as you. Like
mhm,
this a lot. Like if you could have nothing else in common, you have that.
right,
You have that one thing in common. And so it's just nice to be around your people.
right, yeah. And I have made a lot of friends at the gym, but I could also like talk to a tree. I can make friends with any,
Yes, you can.
you know me.
You can make a friend with a man at the border.
A Canadian at the Mexican border.
Canadian at the Mexican border. That's Justy for you.
That's Justy for you. Yeah, anyway, so anyway, I think what is a good thing to do, and obviously I'm starting the challenge on December 1st, but really take time because I think this episode will air and you've got like 5 days until December or something like that. Just take some time and really think about if you need to write it down, the reasons why. The
Right.
reasons why you're going to get up and work out. I literally have a post-it note next to my bed that says um, get up, just get up. I've got one in my bathroom that says, it's not your mood, it's your plan. I
Put
just
your
have these
pants on.
put your fucking pants on. And actually what I did today when I got home from the gym, or not the gym, though my walk, I didn't really sweat. It was cold as shit outside. And so I was like,
Right.
you know what? I'm just gonna wear these same clothes tomorrow. Let me put them right here so that I just have to wake up and slide them. I know they're warm enough. Like I'll change my panties, obviously, because a a whole nother thing to talk about. Things are different in my body. And so now when I wear workout pants, maybe I should do a whole reel on that. That'd be hilarious. I have to wear panties now.
Oh,
So
I'm so sorry. I don't ever want to be in that place. I
I
hate
know.
wearing panties
So
with workout pants.
but I think that's for a different podcast, or I'll do a reel about like the stages of my vagina as I've had skin removal surgery. 'Cause
50 Shades of Justy's vagina.
right, exactly. So anyway, but I think it's important that between now and then we really have that toolbox, whether it's post-it notes, whether it's mental notes, whether it's journaling, whether it's having an accountability partner, whether it's because Christy, I know on December 1st, she's gonna be like, hey, where you at, bitch? Like if I'm not there. And to really set yourself up for success. And because December can be an epic failure if we let it, like epic.
Right.
And we
And
cannot let that happen.
why just say fuck it in December? Because you already know you're going to eat too much. I know
Right.
I'm going to eat too much. I know I'm going to eat outside of my norm because it
Right.
is the holidays. So that's a given. And I'm not going to restrict myself. I'm not going to go buck wild, but I'm not going to restrict myself either. So
Mm-hmm.
like if I already know that I'm doing that, why then would I also cut out my exercise? Because then you're just
Doubling
setting
up.
yourself up for failure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why set myself up for failure? Instead, we're going to get ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a plan. We're going to do our 25 days and we're going to set ourselves a bare minimum and
Right. Right.
we're going to exceed the shit out of that bare minimum. That I
Well,
just know
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I know it
Yeah.
because we're overachievers, you and I.
We are. We are. And so what I'm going to do is post every day. Like today's day 1 of 25 and this is what I'm doing. Today's 2 of 25. This is what I'm doing. Today's a rest day and this is what I'm doing. And hopefully help motivate some people, but honestly, and the whole reason that Steph and I started this podcast and started Instagram was to really help each other. And if we were helping other people, better yet. And it's kind of grown into a thing. I think it was really cool when we were sitting at the bariatric retreat and this girl's like, "Oh, you guys are where you're listening at. I listened to your podcast." And
I
so
know.
at least you're helping somebody. But we're helping ourselves and
Yeah.
keeping ourselves aligned. And I think that's just
Mm.
it's just a cool journey that we've been on. And I just feel super blessed.
Yeah, like selfishly, we do this. Yes, we do it because we want to be able to share our successes and failures because we've had plenty of those
Right.
too.
Mm-hmm.
But also it keeps us accountable. So that's
Yeah.
probably not that we don't love you all, but it's our number one reason because for whatever reason, I know I am this way that I can very easily let myself down. I have a harder time letting other people down. So
Yeah.
if I know someone's watching, then I know that I gotta be about my business because I don't want to be a phony out here. I don't want to be talking about it and not doing it. Do we
Right.
have days where like we, miss or we don't go or whatever? Yes. And that's where I think that's where we talked about, or you had mentioned it, we talked about a little bit before, is that you have to know the fine line between I really need a rest day today because my body is not feeling it, or oh, I should rest today because my abs are still sore from my workout on Wednesday. Well, bitch, that's because you haven't gone so long before that your muscles are sore. Like, so
Right.
get up and go because that was
And
one of my
there's
excuses today because my muscles still hurt. Oh, well,
Yeah. And there's facts behind stuff. Like for me, I know that if I eat about a cup and a half or so of food, maybe 2 cups, kind of depending on what it is, because I have a full tummy. I know that if I'm hungry or craving something before probably 4 hours, it's just in my head. So I know that. That's my fact. And so I'll tell myself, listen, bitch, it's been 2 hours and you had a full meal. Like you can wait, drink some water. And same thing with working out. Yeah, my muscles hurt and whatever, but that doesn't mean you can't work out. Like
right,
you're not gonna die because you're working out in your abs because your abs are hurt. And we just gotta, really take the feelings and the mood out of taking care of ourselves
right,
because if not it starts like a snowball. It does start like a snowball. Oh, let me eat this, or it's just one cookie, or it's just one meal. I'll do better tomorrow, or I'm just going to stay in bed today and tomorrow I'll do double. And that none of that is healthy. Just stay
yeah,
consistent and stay on your plan. Have a
hmm
plan. And so
hmm
our plan, or my plan, is 25, 25 for 25. And so keeping it simple, I think, will help. And I really like, if you're listening to this podcast and it's something you want to join, I really like it when people interact with us on Instagram. So I think I'm going to put like questions on my stories every day of like, what is your plan today? What are you doing today? And I would just love to get, feedback on that. I think that's just fun
hmm
when people are interacting and showing up for yourself as well. I think is good. So I'm going to expect Steph the Shrinking Chef to comment.
I will comment. And also I know and I saw it in Canva. That's how I know what you're up to. That's how we know what we're up to. So
Mhm.
we see it in Canva that you were working on some calendars too. So we will share that stuff. Like we'll post it
Mhm.
so you can grab a screenshot of it and then if you're doing the challenge with us, then tag us so we can share everybody's as well. So
Yeah.
just check off your challenge.
Uh-huh.
And I think we need to get that probably posted
Yeah,
sooner
I'll
rather
probably
than later to
I'll
get
work on it.
people.
I'll finalize it this weekend, I think, and then I'll start posting stuff more on Facebook about it. This week, I have had a really bad week. as, as Steph
Poor
knows,
Justy, she really
someone like
has, yeah.
stole my birthday present, and like it was just whatever.
Nail in the
But
tire.
it's nail in the tire, no license. I've been
Jesus
denied.
Christ.
I have fucking global entry where I had to get my fingerprints taken, but yet North Carolina won't give me a damn driver's license. You kidding me? Whatever. Anyways, um, I will
Justy's
try to.
riding dirty in case anyone's
I'm
wondering.
riding so dirty, but I have a plan. So if I get pulled over, I have like the emails and everything from me trying to get all the shit I need to get my license. And then also I feel like I could fake cry. And
Yeah, you can cry.
last
Yeah.
resort, I got some new titties. So I'm not
What
afraid to use them. I gotta get
she's
my money.
not.
I gotta get
I've
my
seen them.
money's worth out of these bad boys.
Yeah,
So
right.
listen, they didn't charge me to fix my tire today, and I feel like it's the new titties.
Really? Look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have to
So
show a titty for that or
I
no? It's free.
didn't, but I just had
Okay.
to I had to do my thing, you know.
That see, I would try that. They'd be like, "Ma'am, are you okay? Is
Yeah, I
there
had to
something
do
in your eye?"
my little
Oh,
flirty thing, and speak Spanish to the little Spanish guy in my broken Spanish. So anyway,
that's how we got free drinks at their free drinks and retreat. And then I was like, God damn, those drinks were $30.
yeah, we
Thought
got
those were free.
right. So that
Justy
was
flirted her
nice.
way to free drinks for us.
I do that on occasion.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think so in a wrap up, using between now and then to get some things in your toolbox to to pivot when you're having, we had a whole podcast number 33 was about pivoting your thoughts and just pivot your thoughts of I don't want to get up or it's too cold. How are you going to pivot that? So you're not caught off guard. And then committing yourself to it, following
Yep.
along with us. Most of the people who listen follow us on Instagram anyway. So
Right.
joining, being active, sharing what you're doing,
And being
sending us.
active is what keeps you accountable because
Yes.
if you're just trying to do it on your own, if you're one of those people who is like, and I get it, there's some people who aren't like very vocal on social
Mhm.
media. If you're one of those people and you typically just like watch but don't, now's your chance. Now's your chance to
Yeah.
just join us in this. Just share,
Just
you just tag us
I
or
want
just send it to us.
pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't even have to if you don't want to post it on your account, but you want to share with us, then just message it to us. And so
Yeah.
we know that you're doing it with us.
And I
Because now's
answer
the chance. Now's your chance to just, just join us in this.
right. And I know for me, before I go to bed, typically, or when I'm drinking coffee in the morning, that's when I answer all the messages that I get or comments or whatever. And I know Steph, so we both get comments in our Instagram. So she takes care of hers, I take care of mine. But that's kind of when I do it. So we do interact with people. When we were at the bariatric retreat, one of the ladies said, I we'll probably send you some questions about your surgery and stuff. And she's like, do you respond? I'm like, hell yeah, I respond. Like, this is the
Yeah.
whole reason we do this is to help people.
Right.
Of course I'm
Right.
going to respond. So yeah, I think, and it'll help me stay motivated. And then it'll be giving yourself some motivation too, because, listen, if you start this challenge with me and you're not showing up, I might have to message you and be like, where you
Right.
at?
Where you at?
Right.
And this is just this way we know we're rolling into January strong. When all these other people are like just joining the gym, getting their gym membership, trying
Mhm.
to figure out, eating. Listen, that's how I ended up having weight loss surgery. It was New Year's Eve of
Mhm.
2019.
19. Mhm.
That is what set me over the edge. I felt disgusting and I looked pretty, but I felt disgusting, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
And that's what put me over the edge. And that's when I started looking, I finally started looking into bariatric surgery in January. That's what pushed me. And so there's a lot of people that the holidays and that January does push them into, in the right direction. But like, let's start it now.
Yeah,
I
there's
just
no
don't,
no
let's start
reason.
it now. Let's at least, you know, mitigate the damage. Let's try to just, like
And
we can.
I've had at least in the last 2 weeks, 10 people tell me they're going to start January 1st. I'm like, no, start with me in December. Just people
Yeah,
at work or my friends in Florida or whatever. It's like, yeah, I have a plan to start. Well, no, just do now. Like, I don't
right,
understand why wait. Just
right.
get it.
When there's
Um,
no harm in doing a 25-minute walk
right.
25 times in December.
Right. Or I mean, even if you're like watching the news, just stand up and walk. Just walk in place. I mean, anything is it's not you don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself. Just do
Yeah,
25 minutes of activity that you wouldn't
right,
normally do. And and if you normally do 25 minutes, do 25 more.
right. Because
you
we
know?
do it here. We would do
Mhm.
it here in the house. Well, because it's a I guess like a townhouse. Yeah. So it's got the two flights of stairs. Listen, you do those two flights of stairs enough times back to back. That's a workout. That's a bitch. I was talking to
Right.
my mom about that earlier because we would just, or sometimes like I would take the upstairs, he would take the downstairs. We would take turns running the steps or around the house or just doing our workout in the house because if it's cold, you still got to work
Mhm.
out.
Cold or
You're
raining,
not going outside. Yeah.
there's all kinds
So
of excuses, but
we would do stuff in the house or sometimes like if we had like some planning to do for like a vacation or whatever, we would go outside. When we lived in West Virginia, we did this. There was when we would leave, there was a school right outside of our neighborhood, and we would go walk around because it had like a big parking lot. We would walk around the parking lot, and then there was like a little kind of like tiny little track, and we'd walk circles around there. But we'd have our phones. We weren't doing any type of like real speed because we're on our phones like looking stuff up or planning things or
mhm.
oh we could do this or we could do that. Like if we're going to sit at the table and have this conversation, let's walk and have the conversation so we can kill two
Exactly.
birds with one stone.
Exactly. And today I did like a 40-minute walk and my watch to get my ring it's 45 minutes. So I parked outside like the bakery in Park or in Rock Hill. I parked at the opposite end of the parking lot and so that was like a 3-minute walk and then it was a 3-minute walk back and then I stopped at the TJ Maxx and I parked way far out and that was like a 2-minute walk and then a 2-minute walk back. So you don't have to do the 25 minutes, but normally I would not have done that. Normally I would have rolled up in my parking spot. Normally I would have, you know, gone around to find the right place to park, but I was like, no, just park out. So you don't have to
Hmm.
do 25 minutes at a time. It's just 25 minutes of activity that you don't normally do. And so
Intentional, yep. And that's
intentional,
it, you
yes.
intentionally parked far away, like you were given.
Right.
And that's that discipline part, like if you're giving it the thought, that's
Mm-hmm.
the discipline. So we're going to roll into January already disciplined. We're going to give ourselves the 31 days of building that habit in
Right.
December. So in
Mhm.
January, we're not out there like the other 50% of the world that's like, oh shit, it's January 1st. We should get this started. Like, no,
And fun
let's do it.
fact is, everybody knows I own bakeries, and so January, um,
Mhm.
little slow in the bakeries, but come Valentine's Day, everybody's off the wagon.
Everybody's
So
back on sugar. Right.
everybody's back
Exactly.
on sugar. It literally March is the busiest month that our bakery has. One of the most profitable months that we have, and that's because after the
Everybody restricted
January
too much.
whatever
Yeah.
sits in, then 60 days later, it's like, I can't do this anymore. And so they go back
And
to
and that's not it. We're not trying to restrict. We're just trying
no,
to align and
and
just like,
be ahead of it.
yeah.
Be ahead of it and not force ourselves to like go hard in January and then, overdo it, hurt ourselves. In my case, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna, sign up for 2 classes a day. Blah, blah, and I just was like, Justy, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, you're gonna kill yourself.
Right.
No,
Exactly. Split open a
relax.
wound. Yeah.
Slow your roll, relax. It's okay.
Hmm.
Just do something. So, anyway, so that's what we're going to do. I'm
Yep.
excited for people to follow along. I'm excited. And then who knows, maybe if this goes well, then we'll do a January challenge. Who knows? But I'm also in December taking my personal training tests. So I have that
Hmm.
scheduled and I'm almost done with all my classes. So I feel good about that. I'm on track to get that done by the end of the year. What's next is we have 3 things next, Steph. Do you know what they are?
Oh, we do. So
Yeah.
we're bringing on a massage. What is her actual? I don't want to get her wrong. It's your people.
So I don't know but I know she has a lot of certifications and like all kinds of stuff. So knowledgeable. She's my lymphatic masseuse. That's what she does now. She specializes in like lipedema and after plastic surgery, drainage, that sort of thing. But she's also certified in a lot of things with like deep muscle movement, lots of stuff. So she's great. Her name's Summer. So we're going to have her on explaining the lymphatic system and why it's so important, and then really concentrating on, because a lot of us who've had late weight loss, we are going to have plastic surgery at some point to get rid of the skin. So how important that is. And then with
Right.
lipedema,
Which I was just told that I have lipedema, which I
yeah,
always
so
had a sneaking suspicion, but it was confirmed by a doctor. They were like, yeah, you for sure do. And
yeah,
so luckily I have a lipedema specialist right here in Delaware. So
yeah.
that's exciting to me. And I think down the road too, I know somebody, the first person who told me they thought I had it, that from the bariatric community. I want to bring her on because she's pretty knowledgeable about it. So I would like to talk some more about lipodema because it's all new to me. So I'm just learning it now, and I learned a little bit at retreat.
Yeah. And
So
there's quite a few people, and there's lipedema and there's lymphedema.
lymphedema, yeah.
Yeah. And so what is the differences? So we're just going to kind of talk about our body, what you can do to massage yourself and to get your lymphatic system going, and that sort of thing. So that's one. Okay, what's the second one?
So we also have, well, we have two others that I can think of. We also have a gentleman who we started following on social media that
Because
just
Justy
kind of has
thought
a
he
really,
was cute.
what's that?
I said because Justy thought he was cute. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
so there's that. There's that. Um, but
I'll put
but he
myself
has,
on blast. I don't care.
yeah, I wasn't doing it, but you did it for me. So I'm like, I'm gonna be polite here. But no, but seriously, he's a handsome fella. But more so than that, he has like an interesting story. And what drew us to him was he's similar to us in the way that he shows up for himself with his workouts.
Yes.
He is a man who is not afraid to, because the men in the community, from what I hear from others, until they can break through it, they have a hard time really putting themselves out like women do on social media, because we just do.
Right.
It's just kind of it's just a girl thing
It's a
expected of us,
pride
but to
thing.
see, yeah, and
Yeah.
to see other men do it, and men that have had weight loss surgery, to just be able to be out there with it, it's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. So we started like kind of looking in to his account some more, and we were intrigued. And then we have a really good topic to talk to him about when it comes to weight loss surgery. So that, and then we also have, which we have to get scheduled, but we're gonna have Professor Phil from Dive Bar come on.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a little trade-off. We're gonna be on, they're bringing their podcast back for Dive Bar Nutrition. And so we're gonna be guests on there. So we'll let you know when that airs. And then we're going to bring Professor Phil on, and he's just got an amazing story. And I just love that company so much, and I love the
Yeah.
family feel of it. I can't, not only do I love dive bars, like I enjoy the taste, I enjoy eating them. I just love the company and everything that it stands for. So I'm
Right.
excited
And
to
then
have
we
him
have
on.
another one. So
Why am I,
we're gonna do the
oh,
our goals, the end of
our
year,
goals.
and
Yeah.
then what are our goals for next year? So we
Yep.
actually have four.
Definitely.
Look at us
So
being ahead of
I know.
ourselves. What?
We either are
Finish
like, what are we going to talk about? Or it's like,
finishing the year strong.
I'll say that I think retreat brought a lot of that on for us,
Yeah.
because we really had the chance to interact with people, and just like there
Mhm.
was no pressure for Justy and I. We didn't have anything we had to do. We didn't even really, I could have worked out. We both could
Mhm.
have done some of the workouts, but it was just kind of like we just wanted to, like, I don't know, chill, just be
Yeah.
together, spend time
Mhm.
together. Listen, we didn't do workouts, but we walked.
We walked a
Um,
lot.
we
Yeah.
walked a lot because we didn't have like a car. We did Uber back after because we walked a couple of miles to go like to a grocery store, and we're not going to walk all of that back with our groceries. We had like all this water and stuff. Like it was already hard enough to get it in the vehicle that picked us
Mhm.
up, but we walked to lunch, and then we walked to the grocery store from there, and then we walked to breakfast the one day. So we did a lot of walking. So that's fine, but we just wanted to spend time like together, and like
Mhm.
this was Justy's first time at retreat, so her
Mhm.
getting to know people and whatnot. And so it was good. It was good for us.
Yeah.
We're also going to the JBY Awards, which if you listen to us, I'm going to shamelessly plug us.
Yes.
Their nominations are open, and one of the nominations is for favorite. It's a bariatric podcast, but I mean, I'm bariatric, and Justy is non-surgical bariatric. So, technically this is a bariatric podcast. So, shameless plug, go ahead and get us nominated. Let's get our faces on that screen. I'll already be presenting. I've got some really fun stuff planned that I cannot talk about yet. But if you're coming to JBY, it's in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's in March.
April.
April.
April. April.
April.
Yeah.
I bought my ticket. I don't even know what it is. I'm like, I've got it. Woo!
Yeah,
But
it's in
tickets are on
April.
sale, and nominations are live, and so that's going to be a good time. But we're both going, so we're going to mix and mingle there. But they got the pink carpet, so we get to dress up.
Yes,
And
I
we're
can't
bringing
wait.
another bariatric friend with us.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there'll
our
be a
friend-
third member of the band.
Yes. And I was just like, really, this was my first retreat, and having a space to share my story, natural weight loss, and my skin removal story was just really nice for me, and to just be accepted. Because whether or not you had surgery or not, it's still the same thing. It's still the same struggle. We all have the same, I don't want to say issues, but we all have the same things that
We
we
all
have to
came from
work.
the same place. That's for damn
Right. We all
sure.
came from the same place, and we just had different tools that we chose, but we all have journeys, and all of our journeys are special. And so it was just really nice. I just felt like really welcome, and it was just
Except
great.
for except for the one person that asked, "Why
Oh
are you
yeah.
here?"
Yeah. This one girl,
I wish I knew who it was.
this one
I
lady,
wasn't with her because
yeah.
Mama Bear would have kicked in. Justy already knows how I get
You
when
would
someone starts
have.
talking shit. I'm like, I got this one.
You would have. It was funny. Yeah. We were at a table, and she was like, "So when was your surgery?" I said, "Oh, I didn't actually have surgery. I lost over 100 pounds." And she's like, "So why are you here?" And I was like, to help support my best friend who did have surgery. And I said, actually, losing 100 pounds is bariatric as well. So,
Right.
anyway,
Bariatrics
but
is the treatment of obesity, and I
she can
fight
kick
that bitch every
rocks.
day.
Right. She can kick rocks. So there's
Damn,
that.
I wish I knew who it was.
I know. I know.
It's killing me.
So anyway, so that's it. We got a lot coming up, and we just want to talk about this challenge, not allowing December to throw you
Get the best of you, yeah.
a bunch of excuses, and don't wait until January. Join us on Instagram and follow the challenge, because we're both going to do it. And I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right. That's it.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
We'll see you
And
next
I'll
time.
say, okay, we'll self-love it real quick. Our self-love was
Oh,
this whole damn trip for me
yeah.
anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
that is me being able to step away from, I have a new business. I stepped away from that. I stepped away from the family. I missed my daughter's soccer game because I needed to fill my cup. And I
Right.
did.
Right. Yes. And that's very important. And I stepped away from my Sanchis.
Oh,
Oh, love.
little buddy.
So yeah, so that was our self-love for this podcast.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye.